What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Level Up with Gal. I'm your host, Gal Pereno. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for tuning in. If you're brand new to the tribe, welcome to the freaking tribe. If you're returning, I appreciate you so much. I'm so proud of you for continuing your journey, your personal development journey, your freaking path, and continue to level up in your life to improve so you can improve yourself and other people, all the people around you. So today I want to dive in and talk about how to start being consistent in everything that you do. Consistency is one of the hardest freaking things to do because for us to keep showing up, for us to keep doing it, for us to turn it into a routine and part of our habit, it is so easy to fall back into our old ways. And when we start something, right? For example, like new year, new me, right? Oh my gosh, so exciting. And then we fall right back into our traps of not working out, right back to the traps of eating bad, right back to the traps of not taking care of ourselves, not following through the things we say we're going to do. But the beginning of a year, we're like, we got all these things, all these goals are going to hit, we're going to do this, we're going to change, yada, 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 right? It's all exciting because it's a new year. Everyone in their freaking mom's doing it. But the freaking magic sauce is where you can be consistent and truly follow through in the things you say you're going to do. And let's say you struggle with that. You're like, I've been trying to do this for years and years, Gal, and it's not working. Well, it's not working because you're not making that priority. It's not working because you are not sticking to it, right? How many times have you started something and then quit after a day or so or a few weeks? That's not enough time for it to become part of your routine, to become part of a habit. So there's less resistance and you can easily start doing it again and again. So I'm going to use myself for example. When I first started working out, I was like, yeah, I'm going to wait till Monday, or I'm going to start Monday. Yeah, girl, you got this, right? And it would be Monday. And then I would do one workout. And then the next day I would skip. And then I was like, okay, I'll do Wednesday. Yep. And then I would skip. And then it was like this freaking up and down, right? This roller coaster ride, up and down. It's like every time you're about to, you're consistent and then you drop and then you're not. And, it's just never ending cycle. And it starts to drive you freaking crazy. I did that for a long time, for years. So, gosh, it was like a good 5+ years ago. I was literally 50+ pounds from what I am today. And it all started with me saying, I'm going to make a decision, right? I said, I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to start working out. I'm going to show up for myself. Okay, that's awesome. That's number one thing. What is it that you want to accomplish, right? You have to know what it is that you want. I'm like, I'm going to start showing up for myself. I'm going to lose weight because I'm going to do it for me. And I want to like the person I see in the mirror. I did not want to be in photos anymore. I hated going to see people. I didn't want people to see me because I didn't even like seeing me when I was getting ready. It's terrible. It's a horrible freaking feeling. But where I got to, getting to that part in my life and looking like that, a lot of stuff was going on in my life, mentally, my surroundings. And I tell you what, it's not like anyone forced me to eat the food that I ate for me to gain the weight. No one told me to stop working out and just sit on the couch, eat a bag of chips like every single day. Because I did that. That's what I felt I needed mentally, or from where my mental state was at the time. But I'm sharing this story because I was like, yeah, I've always been a runner. I can totally lose this weight. It should be easy. Well, let's keep it real. It's not easy. It's super difficult to be consistent. It's super difficult to lose weight. It also takes time. Remember, you gain that weight over time. I had to remind myself this. I'm not going to lose it overnight because I also didn't gain it overnight. Even though we want to lose it overnight, I sure did. I'll tell you that for many, many years. And I was going up and down for a long time of showing up and then not, and then showing up and quitting and then starting again. And it was just this crazy cycle. But that was my biggest problem. I would lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. And it was just I was driving myself crazy. And it's all because I wasn't consistent. I needed a consistent schedule. And I totally get it. Hearing that, it's like, okay, you need a consistent schedule. Okay, no problem. Right? Let's start. And I would be like, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to work out, or even start off one day, but I still skipped, right? So think about that. Like, you set the schedule. Okay. But then now you struggle following through on it. How can you start to follow through more on that? So I would recommend you add that workout to something that you enjoy, like something you do right before and something you do right after, something that you really enjoy. So for me, for example, I love eating chips. Like chips are my favorite freaking thing. So what I told myself was, okay, I'm going to get on back then, I'm going to get home from work, I'm going to change, and I'm going to get that run in. And the one thing I was thinking about the whole time was those potato chips. Like, I'm going to reward myself and I am going to eat those potato chips, and not the whole bag though. You have to set limits on yourself, especially like, it's so freaking hard, especially when it's something really yummy and tasty and you love it. I was like, okay, I'm going to eat one serving, I'm going to measure it out, and that is going to be my reward, but it's going to be a reward for myself for getting that workout in. We start to add things that are not in our routine, not part of our natural habit yet, there's a lot of resistance. It's like, oh, it's so much easier. I'm so used to just sitting on the couch. I'm so used to coming home and just eating and just chilling, and giving ourselves excuses too. We're really good at doing that. Like, let's keep it real. And I wouldn't do it. So start to decide what is your goal? What do you want to accomplish, right? And ask yourself why. Why is this important to you? Number 2, if it's weight loss, for example, or whatever that step or that goal is, add it to a part of your schedule in your day of something that's going to be exciting, right? Like, reward yourself right after. Like how I was like, okay, I'm going to have some chips, and that was exciting. And something that was relief to me was, okay, after a long day of work, I'm going to do something for myself. That's why I chose to do it right after work, because I knew I will always have a long day of work. And when I come home, I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to show up for me. I've been showing up for others all freaking day. I'm going to show up for me right after work. And I'm going to also reward myself. So you see how I combine those. So it's 2 things, like bonuses for me. I'm showing up for myself. I'm going to move my body. I'm going to get this workout in, and I'm going to reward myself. So there's less resistance there. And think of like, okay, if you're going to go to a second job, there's going to be resistance there because you're going to be freaking tired. You're not going to want to do that, like you're going to show up for yourself. So you're going to feel freaking better, but it takes baby steps. And don't beat yourself up if you happen to like miss one workout. Get right back on the freaking train and on the schedule and keep going. And whatever goal that is, this is just an example that I'm using with my real life example that's helped me stay consistent and stay fit and healthy. For me, that was the number 1 thing. I didn't lose weight for anyone else. I decided to start losing weight for me, so I can like the person I see in the mirror. I can show up better. I can move better. I just feel better mentally and physically. It was super important for me to do it for me. When we do things for other people, it doesn't hit the same because we're trying to please somebody. No, we need to do it for us. And if someone, our significant other or whoever around us benefits from that, whatever decision it is that we do for us, that's a freaking bonus. Number 1 person is you. As I knock over my mic, but it's freaking you. Like, I can't stress that enough. And I get so passionate about that, and I knocking over things here, but we tend to put other people before our own needs so easily all the time. And the only way to slowly stop doing that is to have in your awareness and to realize how precious and how important you are, and how you can start to show up for you just as much as you show up for others. And the more you show up for you, the better you actually show up for others. It's so funny how that works, right? We tend to think a lot. Well, I definitely have, where I'm like, I'm going to fill other people's cup. I'm going to fill other people's cup. And then my cup is not empty. But if I keep filling their cup, I'm going to feel better. That is not true. When your cup is full and then you're filling someone else's, you feel 10 times better. So remember that before you say yes to doing something for someone else, make sure you said yes to you first. Okay, had to get that out there and go on that little rant there. But start to learn how to prioritize what is important to you and what it is that you want to start to do to be consistent in, whether that's a workout or whether that's, stop, like, here's something else. Set a time for you to stop working so you can spend more time with your family or your friends. I tend to be one that loves to work. And I know this is my awareness, and it's something I am working on still today. That's a work in progress. We're all work in progress. So the other thing too is limit your distractions, right? Start to limit how many distractions are popping up. Let's say if you're distracted by social media, which is a big thing for a lot of us, then set times for yourself. Like, okay, I'm only going to go on for X amount of time and then I'm going to go do whatever. Or when I'm done doing that one thing that I was going to do today, like get that workout in, all right, I'm going to, eat those bag of chips. This is actually real life. I would eat those bag of chips and then I would spend some time on social media and I would allow myself to scroll, but do not fall into this death of the scrolling doom of death and going for hours and hours. That happens to me. That has happened to me. And it's like, stop. So limit yourself, right? It's super important to be able to limit yourself to things that are not good for you, right? Like, okay, you want to go out once in a while? Awesome. But that doesn't mean you have to go out every single day. You know what I mean? So start to plan accordingly for you so you can really follow through in the things you want to and the things you say you're going to do. The other thing is truly track how you're doing, but don't beat yourself up. Remember to be patient with yourself as well, because when you're trying to incorporate something new into your life, it's going to take time to incorporate those baby steps into your routine, right? The more you do something every single day or every couple days, whatever schedule you choose, then it gets easier and easier. For example, for me, Monday, Wednesday, Friday are my running days. That has been ongoing for a long time. When I first started, it was 1 day a week, 2, and then 3, and then I was doing 5, and it was and I changed my workouts. So the last few years I've been doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday I run, and then Tuesday, Saturdays I'll lift, and then Thursday, Sundays I take a day off. I used to do 7 days, just thinking in my mindset like the more I do, the more weight I'm going to lose. That's not necessarily true because your body needs to rest as well. So track how you're doing, and then that way you can reward yourself. You can give yourself kudos when you're doing great. Have an accountability partner if that's what you need to be like, hey, how did your week go? Whether it's a close friend, a coach, a significant other, anyone, a mentor to help hold you accountable so you follow through in the things you say you're going to do. The hardest thing is consistency in anything, and to really actually do it. It could be on your schedule all day. That doesn't mean you're going to actually do it. It counts when you follow through and you do those freaking steps that you say you're going to do, whether that's get X amount of steps in a day, get that workout in, start that new project that you're working on, launch something new, or push yourself out of your comfort zone to do X amount of networking events or something. So for another example is last year, one of my own goals and something I wanted to be more consistent of was to go to at least 2, right? And this was like my minimum, 2 networking events a month. And I really wanted to push myself out of my comfort zone and to meet new people. And I'm telling you something, as outgoing as I am today, it's freaking nerve-wracking. It is so freaking scary to walk into a room, nobody, and you're like, hey, how's it going? What's your name? What do you do? And then talk about yourself and then ask about them and exchange, business cards or information. It's super nerve-wracking. And when I started doing it, I would be like, oh my gosh, sweating bullets. Like, I hope I put enough deodorant on. Like, I am freaking nervous. And every single time I did it, yes, it got a little bit easier and a little bit easier. But I tell you what, it was so freaking nerve-wracking. And I would go and meet new people. Naturally, we're going to gravitate towards people we talked to before. Naturally, there's some sort of comfort there, right? Because you've already talked to them before, broke the ice. But no, I would tell myself, say hi to that person, gal, give yourself 2 minutes. You need to go talk to somebody else, because the whole point of coming is to push yourself out of your comfort zone, get to know someone else, and network. Even if, and it wasn't the amount of people, I never set a goal about the amount of people. It was about connecting with people, building relationships, getting to know others. And you know what? Maybe we can help each other, or maybe not. Maybe we become best friends. Who knows? But you won't know if you don't try. And it goes with anything. If you just stick to your group, stick to what you're used to, you're never going to push yourself out of your comfort zone. You're never going to grow and level up more and more. And if it makes you super nervous, so that I always say, then you're doing something right. Then keep doing it. And the only way you know if you're gonna like something else is to freaking try. So see what goals it is that you want to accomplish. No, that's super important. Number 1, what do you want to accomplish and why? You got to start there, and then figure out how you're going to incorporate into your schedule so you can be consistent, right? That part is the hardest for a lot of people, to continue to show up again and again and again. Right? Maybe you want to start meditating and you're like, I haven't done it in years. Well, start slow, 30 seconds, a few minutes, right? And then 5 minutes, and up it and up it. have someone hold you accountable if that's what you need. So for one client, for example, we started off small and then we went up and up and up and up. And then I will ask him, do you need accountability, where I would literally check on him like, hey, did you do it yet? Or, hey, do you need accountability where you text me after I text you, see, hey, did you do it yet? And you let me know after. But it wasn't like I'm forcing him to do it. It was I was asking, do you need this accountability? If you do, awesome. All right. The next week, if you don't need it, we won't do it. And we'll see where you go with your goals. Right. If you need that sort of accountability, then that's okay. Nothing's wrong with that. Then make sure you find the accountability that you need, whether it's a friend, a coach, a mentor, whoever that can help hold you accountable. But really make sure it's somebody who's going to call you out though. Especially when it's a close friend, it's so much easier to be like, no, it's okay, girl. Like, no worries, and come up excuses for people that we care about. But you need someone who's going to tell you how it is, right? That's how you are going to improve. You gotta hear the freaking truth. That doesn't mean you have to be mean about it, but you gotta hear the freaking truth. So decide what you want to achieve, incorporate into your schedule where there's less freaking resistance, right? Anytime we are incorporating anything new into our schedule, our routine, a new habit, there's a lot of resistance. So don't be so hard on yourself, or whatever comes up and whatever happens when you are trying to create this new schedule for yourself. But you gotta be consistent if you want to achieve anything. If you want to start a business, if you want to lose weight, if you want to improve your relationships, you gotta see that person, right? And you gotta talk to them if you want the relationship to improve. So wherever your goal is, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish this year, right now, know that it's going to take some time for you to get there, but know that it has to be in your awareness of what are your habits right now, right? If you know you're not good at being consistent, now is the time to be like, okay, this is what I want to accomplish, and how am I going to be able to get there? Do I need help? How am I going to incorporate into my schedule? Hold myself accountable, or have someone hold me accountable, or reward myself, give myself kudos when I follow through and the things I say I'm going to do, and don't beat myself up too much when I make a mistake and I have a slight couple, I go a couple steps back. But the goal is to go forward and be consistent and get there, and know that it takes freaking time. Hope you found this episode helpful. If you are already trying to incorporate a new habit into your life, freaking big kudos to you, but make sure you are sticking to it. And if it ends up being something you don't like, okay, then scratch it out, move on to something else. But if you're doing something, let's say for the easiest one I always think of is related to weight loss, because that's a big part of my story. And even sometimes I'm like, as I consider, it's like, oh, maybe I'll just skip today. Oh, maybe I won't do it anymore. No, the only way to stay healthy and feel good about myself is to continue to be consistent and to continue to show up. So someone in my life that helps hold me accountable a lot and to help me is my husband. Helping, hey, I tell him my schedule, what I'm trying to accomplish, what I'm trying to do, and he helps call me out on my freaking crap if I don't follow through, right? Even I need that help, right? We all do. No matter where you are in your journey, we're all a work in progress. Never ever forget that. Coach, mentor, whatever you call yourself, doesn't matter what it is that you do. We all need help sometimes. And it's so easy for every single one of us to fall right back into how we used to be, fall right back into those habits of what we're used to, what's warm, what's cozy, what's comfortable. But change and the good juicy stuff doesn't happen if we stay the freaking same. We have to want change, and we have to follow through, and we have to be consistent and ask for the help when we freaking want it and when we need it. If I can do it, so can you. We can all continue to improve our lives and ourselves and every single person around us. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I hope you found it helpful. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes. Share this episode with anyone who you may think will find this helpful. I appreciate you truly so much from the bottom of my heart. I love every single one of you. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next episode. And check out my website if you want to learn more about me, you want to work with me, or want to collaborate at www.galpereno.com. And I'll catch you soon.